Alright, so some people say revenge is a dish best served cold, but this guy took it to a whole new level. So on the first day after his divorce, he sadly packed his belongings into boxes, crates, and suitcases. On the second day, he had the movers come and collect his things. On the third day, he sat down for the last time at a beautiful dining room table by candlelit. He put on some soft background music and he feasted on a pound of shrimp, a jar of caviar, and a bottle of champagne. Bottles popping! I mean, okay. And 3 cans of sardines. I mean, this is gonna make your breath stink, but bro went out.
We hungry.
When he finished, he went into each and every room and deposited a few half-eaten shrimps dipped in caviar and some sardines into the hollow center of the curtain rods. He then cleaned up the kitchen and left. Okay, that's petty right there, but let's see how this plays out. On the 4th day, his ex-wife comes back with her new boyfriend, hey, and at first, there was bliss between the two of them. Then slowly, the house began to smell.
Oh, hell no!
They tried everything. Cleaning, mopping, airing out the freaking place. Vents were checked for dead rodents and carpets were steam cleaned. Air fresheners were hung everywhere. Exterminators were brought in to set off the gas canisters, during which time the two had to move out for a few days, get in a hotel, but at the end of the day, and in the end, they even paid to replace the expensive wool carpeting. Nothing worked. They came back to more stank and more just ugh. And people stopped coming over to visit too. It was just driving them crazy. Repairmen refused to work in the house, the maid quit, and after she quit, she bought my books because I'm an author of 4 books, links in description, and those books don't stink. But anyways, back to the story. They couldn't take the smell any longer.
It's the smell.
It was just killing them. Well, figuratively speaking, maybe literally too. And they even decided that they had to move out. They put the house up for sale. And about a month later, even though they cut their price in half, they couldn't find a buyer for such a stinky house. Word got out, and eventually, even the local realtors refused to return their phone calls. Finally, unable to wait any longer for a buyer, they had to borrow a huge sum of money from the bank to purchase a new place. And then the ex-husband was like, well. He called the woman and asked how things were going. She told him the saga of the rotten house and she gave him all the details, which you already know. He listened politely, smiley, of course, and said that he missed his old home terribly and would be willing to reduce his divorce settlement in exchange for having the house. Her, knowing that he could have no idea how bad the smell really was, she agreed on the price that was only 1/10 of what the house had been worth, but only if he would sign the divorce papers that very day. He agreed, and within 2 hours, her lawyers delivered the completed paperwork. A week later, the woman and her man, her boyfriend, stood smiling as they watched the moving company pack everything out to take to their new home, and to spite the ex-husband, they even took the curtain rods. Don't you love a happy ending? Look, before you start getting all revengeful or spiteful on somebody, look, the moral of the story is that revenge can be sweet. It can. I can feel that way too, but it can also backfire. In the case of the husband's revenge plan, it backfired when the wife was able to turn the tables on him and get a better deal on the divorce settlement. The story also teaches us that revenge is not always the best way to deal with somebody who has wronged you. Sometimes it is better to move on and let go of the anger and resentment. Revenge is not a dish best served cold. It is a dish best not served at all. Don't revenge, let God avenge. The Bible teaches us that revenge is not the way to go. In fact, it is explicitly forbidden in the Bible. In Romans chapter 12, verse 19, Paul writes, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord." So the verse teaches us that revenge is not ours to take. It is God's responsibility to punish those who do wrong. When we take revenge, we are essentially usurping and kind of going against God's authority and God's order here. The Bible also teaches us that revenge is not good for us. It can lead to bitterness, anger, and hatred. And who knows, they might continue one up each other and revenge after revenge after revenge. When does the line eventually stop? And those emotions can consume us and make us miserable. In contrast, the Bible teaches us that forgiveness is the way to go. Forgiveness is not about condoning what someone has done to us. It's about letting go of our anger and resentment. When we forgive, we are not saying that what the person did was okay. No. We are simply saying that we are not going to let it control our lives anymore. Forgiveness is not easy. It takes courage and strength, but it is the only way to truly be free from the pain of the past. Here are some other Bible verses that teaches us about revenge and getting even. Now, after reading all that, I hope you got the message behind this video. Don't take revenge, let God avenge. I thought the story was funny and very relatable because in my situation, I'm going through a very litigious situation with my sister. And I could easily take revenge on some of these things, but I have to let go and let God deal with it. And that's a story for another video at another point when this thing finally completes. But I can see how things are unfolding and let God's perfect judgment, which we're not capable of having because we're not perfect, only God is, let him take that perfect avenge. That way you just sit back and let God justify it perfectly. So I hope you got the message with this video. If you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.